The Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast. We're so glad you joined us. If you're listening to this on release day on a Monday, the best first day of the week, right?
Always.
Yeah, totally. Everybody loves Mondays.
It's my favorite first day of the week.
I've heard everybody loves Mondays.
Mondays are the best.
The best. Well, I'll tell you one way they're going to get better is the Shepnaz Podcast, baby. We hope you're enjoying wherever you're at today, welcoming you in, and we are actually kicking off a brand new series today.
Yeah.
This past weekend, we kicked off a new series called Lessons from the Legends, where we're going to be having our preaching and pastoral staff kind of sifting through, kind of like we did last summer, where you're going to get a chance to hear all the pastors here preach this summer, which we're always excited about.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's always fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure Rob gets a little excited that he doesn't have to preach every
single
single
bit of a break.
Yeah, man, it's perfect. So, and kicking us off is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend.
It's me again.
Pastor Kevin, baby.
It's me again.
Yeah, we're stoked to have you. And I always love sitting across this table from you, my
fun.
friend. We always have a good time.
Love it.
I did promise myself, though, I will not let my ADD kick in as bad as it did last time you and I were sitting around this table. So I took my medication
have to worry about
this morning.
mine.
Right. Now, you're the one we got to wrangle.
Exactly.
Just messing.
Exactly.
Well, you are kicking us off with a legend in Scripture.
A legend.
Man by the name of Gideon.
Gideon.
Pretty excited
Giddy
about
up,
this, man.
Gideon.
Giddy
I
up?
think that's what they
Ooh.
called him.
Really?
Giddy up, Gideon.
That sounds good. I'm going to go with that. I like that.
I think that's in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
Giddy up, Gideon. I think it is.
Going way back in translations.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this says Giddy
I'm
up.
pretty sure it's Giddy up, Gideon.
I love it.
Played
Well,
by-
kick us off, man. How did you, what did we talk about this past weekend?
Well, I love the theme for the series, the legends. And now, as I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, what makes a legend?
Yeah.
And legends have origin stories. And I mean, the bumper
Oh, my gosh.
for the series, I mean,
Dude, our bumpers have been just primo.
they have been on
Primo.
fire, on point, as the kids used to
Hey.
say. Please don't. But when I watch it, I keep waiting for like the Avengers
Right.
graphic to come up,
Yep.
which is fitting, I think. This is the legends.
They're legends, right?
They're legends. And so as I was thinking about this, it was pretty fun. We think about these legends and we see them from their legendary moments.
Right.
But they all have origin stories. We all have origin stories.
Right.
They didn't start out as a legend.
Right.
And so
Something has to happen to
something
make you a
has
legend.
to happen to make you that.
Yep.
And Gideon just stands out to me because the angel of the Lord calls him, Gideon, man of valor. I'm like, this is kind of a joke, right? Gideon was not someone, and to his own, crying back, I'm the least in my clan, and my clan is the least in the tribe.
Right.
What do you want? I don't know about that.
Yeah. It immediately identifies as like the lowest of the low.
Lowest of the low.
Yeah.
That whole imposter syndrome that all of us struggle with, some of us maybe more than others, like, I can't. So I just thought it was fitting that as we think about these legends, they all have origin stories.
Yeah.
God called ordinary people. God didn't call rock stars.
Right.
He called ordinary people. So like, I don't have an out.
Right.
So as I think about Gideon, and I love Gideon's story, and so I went with Giddy up, Gideon.
I love it.
And I love the fact that God called him, mighty man of valor.
Yeah.
So as we get into to the message, it's not been that long ago. We spent a lot of time with the children of Israel,
Right.
going through the Exodus.
Yes, we did.
We're a little familiar with them.
If you're not, yikes.
You're new to us if you're not. But we're familiar enough with them to know and to not be shocked by the word here, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. It's an indictment, but it's like, okay, here we go again.
Right.
It's we're on, we're off, we're hot, we're cold, we're restless, we're at peace, the whole things.
Yeah.
And then Deborah, one of the great judges of the Old Testament, Deborah lays it out for them and talks to them about deliverance. And deliverance. You've been delivered before.
Right.
And yet you're back here in your old patterns. You're back in these things that are happening. And it's just there's not going to be good things that come
Right.
out of that.
Right.
And so as we read their story, I'm trying not to sneeze.
Oh, you're good. Do you need me to mute your mic so you can sneeze? I learned how to do that recently.
And the camera.
Yeah.
My head goes.
We're blocking. We're blocking. Mute him.
So, we read this and we think about, so now they're being oppressed by the Midianites. Mm-hmm. And we're like, well, who are they?
Right.
It was their cousins. The Midianites, they're from the tribe of Midian. And Midian is one of Abraham's sons to one of his concubine wives.
Right.
Happens to be the seventh son, I think, to his mom. And so these are descendants
Yeah.
from Abraham.
It's family.
So, right, it's family. Now, not of the promised lineage, not of the promise, but they're still family. And not only that, there's another family connection here. Moses married Zipporah. She was a daughter of a Midian priest. So,
Interesting.
you think your family has drama.
right. Yeah, you think your Easter dinners are weird.
Right, exactly. Hello. So, but the Midianites, they characterize for us the power of sin that continually oppresses. And they are continually oppressing the Israelites. Every time the Israelites come up for air, the Midians come in and they're like destroying crops. They're taking all of their livestock and slaughtering. It's just not a good time.
Right.
It's not a good time. So, last week, Pastor Rob had this quote. He shared this, that sin always takes you further than you wanted to go, always makes you stay longer than you wanted to stay, and always costs you more than you wanted to pay.
Right.
Wow, that sounds like so simple. It's like, I wish I'd have thought of that. I wish I was the guy that actually thought of that, because that is so true.
Yeah.
And Israel demonstrates for us, you get sidetracked, you get off, and further than you wanted to go, you're there longer than you wanted to, and it's costing you way more than you thought it was going to cost you. And so here they crying out for help. And so God sends, the prophet to remind them of God's continual love for them, and this God is here to deliver us, and their persistence in ignoring truth and continuing to kind of walk in their own way. So now we get into Gideon and his story and how he plays out in that.
Yeah.
So it's in the midst of like a raid, I guess you could say. And Gideon has this very defeated, negative attitude. He's Eeyore. Everything is wrong. Everything is bad. Oh, what are we going to do? And and so, he's this timid, and he's inexperienced, and all of this stuff is glaring on him. And when the angel of the Lord finds him, he's hiding. So he's in a wine press, and it's kind of I've read a couple different things that these would often be cut out, like in the cleft of the rock. I've also read where they might have been like subterranean, and he's hiding. So I'm in my mind's eye. Raiders are just like on their property running. You can hear the chariots and the horses and whatever, and he's hiding. But he's not just down there hiding. He's threshing some wheat. So he's trying to prepare something for he and his family so they can survive, because they're destroying the crops out there.
Yeah.
So he's down there, he's hiding. And if anybody ever appears to be an adequate, for the moment, it's Gideon.
Yeah.
If you read through like young David, when he was entertaining Saul, and even before that, but when his brothers are off to war, they're fighting the Philistines, and then he comes, and here's Goliath. David was ready for the moment. And Gideon was not.
Yeah.
Gideon was not.
He's hiding for a reason.
He's hiding. He's hiding. He's unsure. And this is the thing that's beautiful, though. The mighty acts of God are always accomplished by God. He uses us.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to sound like he uses and disposes of us.
Right.
But he partners with us. And so God is accomplishing great things through these legends, not because they were a legend, but because of what God did in them. And so here we find Gideon. All these things are happening. They have this great history look back to, what God has done. And they're in another moment where they've been disobedient, and now their crazy cousins who are stronger are coming in and just blowing up everything. And in his story, we find this that God's call to serve upon Gideon's life. So the angel of the Lord comes and he sits down under the threshing with Gideon, and this is what he said: "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Well, this feels like an oxymoron,
Right.
And so Gideon learned that God calls us to service in the routine of life. So again, I said he was hiding, but he was also doing something that was routine. He's threshing the wheat. He's trying to get the grain. It's in the normal things, that we would do. And God often calls and speaks to us while we're doing the routine things of life.
Right.
Read through Scripture, and how many encounters do people have with God in the midst of the routine of their life? I mean, I'm not going to take the time. We could go through and brainstorm and pick out stories. The routine of life, they were doing their thing. And so God speaks to him, and we need to be mindful and intentional about listening, because sometimes we can become overwhelmed with the mundane. Pastor Rob's talked about, he's been working down at Hocking Hills trying to get ready for camp.
Right.
He's like, I got an hour drive there and an hour drive back. And he said it's kind of been refreshing for that to be a moment that's mundane, that's routine, that's driving back and forth. Just about how God is speaking to him, and it's in those moments we need to take advantage of those moments to listen.
Yeah.
In the midst of the mundane.
100%.
So God speaks to us in the midst of the things that we're doing. It's on the normal, it's on the daily, it's things there are things we do that we don't even have to think about.
Right.
Your mind's numb and you're just whatever. Begin listening. But God's call to us to serve is also personal. It's directed to us.
Yeah.
And so when he appears, the Lord is with you, and he called him mighty warrior. God speaks in personal ways. God speaks directly to us. Now, I've never had an angel of the Lord appear to me.
You haven't?
I haven't. I've never had that happen. I've never had a burning bush. I've never had a host of angels in the sky. I've never had that. But I have had those moments when I knew God was talking to me.
Yeah.
No claps of thunder, no great lightning, no, all of the things that we'd like to think about.
Yeah.
But it was that undeniable, because he calls you by name. Like, you can't hide from me.
Right.
I see you.
Yep.
I see you, and I'm speaking to you. And so he calls Gideon personally. He's there. He's speaking to him. And sometimes people will say, well, Pastor, how do I know when God's talking to me?
Right.
You're going to know. And I'm not going to tell you how I know when God's talking to me, because you're not me.
Right.
To the shepherds, he spoke through angels. Shepherds studied angels. To the magi, he spoke through the stars. They studied the skies.
Right.
I mean, we can go down a list of ways that God speaks. God's going to talk to you differently than he does to me, but there will be that unshakable, undoubtable, yeah, dude, that was God.
Yep.
Well, how do you know? Not quite sure, but that was definitely God.
100%.
And that God calling us is this positive aspect. The Lord is with you, mighty warrior. God's calling us positive. It instills this positive feelings. It's this direction for our lives. And then it's a sense of confidence.
Right.
Like, you do things that you wouldn't have done, you never dreamed you would have done, but you have a confidence, not because of who you are, but because of who you know God is in you and what God has called you to. There's a confidence that comes with that. If you're out on your own, you're on your own. And there are things we can do on our own. There are things we're confident in our own strength.
Yeah.
But I have found very rarely does God call us to lean into our strengths.
Right.
He calls us to the things we're like, I'm not sure I'm up to the task. I had a district superintendent one time tell me, I know you feel a little bit over your head. And he said, that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Because it'll keep you dependent upon the Lord.
100%.
And I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right. But so he speaks to him, and this reminds me this positive thing. And when Moses was called, and he's talking to the burning bush, and he says, well, who am I supposed to say, is sending me? And the Lord's response is, tell him I am has sent you. And so there was that confidence because God has spoken, he's speaking into me. And so Gideon is given this bolster of confidence of you, or this encouragement with, the Lord is with you, mighty warrior. Again, he's hiding.
Right.
He's not out fighting. He's hiding. He's fearful for his life. But I'd have been right there with him.
Right.
And I'd have been saying, hey, dude, move over.
Right. 100%.
I'd have been right there with him.
Yeah.
So Gideon was not a mighty warrior.
No.
When the angel of the Lord met him in that threshing place, he was not a mighty warrior at that point. He was not a legend. He was not on anybody's radar.
Right.
But I think there's somewhere in prophecy, but you, Bethlehem, although you are the least, out of you will come. God, this is the way God works.
Right.
This is the way God speaks. And so he wasn't a legend at that point. He's overwhelmed. He's skittish. I can think of a few other words
Right.
to describe.
Right.
Because I've been there too. So
100%.
we look at Gideon, we don't see a warrior,
Yeah.
let alone a mighty warrior. But God looked upon Gideon, and God saw what Gideon could be with his power in him. So God didn't see who Gideon was. God saw who Gideon could be if Gideon would just place his trust in God and allow God to work through him.
Right.
And so, Gideon came to discover that God calls us to serve above self. So now I'm not going to ask you for just to be here to protect yourself, to save yourself, to provide for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to forget about yourself for a moment. I'm going to ask you to forsake your own safety for a moment. I'm going to ask you to not think first about your own welfare. I'm going to ask you to be willing to be used by God, to be used by me to deliver Israel.
Yeah.
And if I'm one of the other Israelites, I'm going,
Why that guy?
who's Gideon? That guy. Oh, him? Why?
The dude that was hiding guy? That guy?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We sang a couple of songs Sunday, and as I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking as I was preparing, and I had the benefit of knowing what we were going to be singing.
Right.
I wonder if Gideon would have responded with, here's where I lay it down. Every burden, every crown. This is my surrender. I mean, we can sing that.
Right.
But when we're singing that from the threshing floor, where we're hiding from the enemy, and we're scared, I will make room for you to do whatever you want to do. And God delivers Israel through Gideon.
That's crazy.
Or maybe Gideon responds, we sang this, oh, Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. From the altar of my life, Christ be magnified in me. That threshing floor became an altar.
Yeah.
Where Gideon had an encounter with the living God, and he called him Gideon, my legend, who's going to deliver our people. And Gideon's like, you got the wrong cat.
Right.
That became an altar where he sacrificed and allowed God to work in him. And this is exciting to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but I can see myself in Gideon's story.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. So literally, I think I'd shared this story for the first time. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before on the podcast, but I was thinking back through moments in my life where I felt God calls, like felt moments of that in my life. And it reminded me of a time, I think it was like 12 or 13. Like I was young, too young, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I was at this summer camp, and which is a whole nother thing, when we're talking about these moments of being called and like what camp has meant, why we're why we think the Hocking Hills Project is so important. Right. And I remember specifically sitting at this camp, and I was in one of the breakout sessions, and the pastor who put on this camp came in, and he was just kind of sitting back, and then they opened up for questions at the end. And I don't remember the question I had, but it was something like, how does someone do that? How does like a 12-year-old scrawny, nerdy little kid like me do that? And I remember the pastor looking at me and saying, Zach, you're going to lead thousands someday. You're going to be a leader of thousands. And I was like, you're an idiot. Like, are you high? Like,
Right.
do you see this room? Like, out of people in this room, I'm not
the guy. Yeah.
And I remember that feeling of like, no, you got the wrong guy. Like, you're not hearing God the right way.
Right.
And looking back over the story of my life to where I've had the opportunity to lead thousands.
Yeah.
Over my almost 12 years of full-time ministry, I've had the opportunity to speak and lead and worship with thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And to think back to that moment where God spoke through a guy to tell me something about me that I didn't believe in myself.
Right.
I see that same thing in Gideon where he's like, you mighty warrior. He's like, do you see where I'm at? Like, I'm not a mighty warrior.
Right.
He's like, you are.
Right.
You're just not in this second, in this moment, but what you're going to be is this.
I think it's important we often put our pastors on pedestals.
Right. Oh, gosh, yeah.
I is one, and I hang out with them.
Right.
They ain't the legends you all think.
You're looking at two normal dudes here on the podcast today.
Exactly. But I think about that, and I hear people all the time say, "Oh, I could never do what Pastor Zack does. I could never do what Pastor Rob does. I could never." Well, they can't do it either.
Right.
I was thinking about this yesterday, and Sue Ann and I were having a conversation just about the things we overcome.
Yeah.
And when God called me, I was in my threshing place. I was scrambling. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't feel like I was in any kind of rebellious place, but it's kind of and when what God wanted me to do, I was like, I can't do that. I've got learning disabilities. I can't read.
Right.
I can't get in front of anybody. I'm scared to death to talk to anybody. All of the excuses that you can have.
Right.
And 35 years later or pushing 40 years later, you're like, wow, what God is able to do. And so I guess I want to challenge, if you're watching today and you have that moment to say, well, but that's them. No. It's what you see is God.
Yep.
You don't see Zack leading worship.
Right.
You see the Holy Spirit leading worship. You don't see, God delivering the word. I mean, you don't see Rob delivering the word. It's God through him. And so we have to remember that. And I can't think of anybody who's ever accomplished anything in the kingdom who didn't have their insecurities and their failures, and I'm not sure this can happen. And but I have seen countless things of amazing things that God has done through the life that has been okay. This is it. Here I lay it down.
Exactly. And that's what it takes, man. I mean, it's literally what it takes for all of us.
Right.
And I think that's an amazing challenge. And if you're good with it, I think we can wrap it up there. Because I think that's an amazing challenge for all of us. I tell this to our team all the time when they're like, we don't know how you do everything you do. It's like, I don't either. Trust me, if it wasn't for me just surrendering every single day, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, because it's not me. It's, I joke all the time. I was like, on paper, I am very unqualified. Please don't look at my resume. But
don't worry about that. Pay no attention to that.
Exactly. It's fine. But it is the fact that we have come to that conclusion in ourselves and been able to realize that, God, we can't do this without you. And so being able to fully surrender. And that's my challenge for every single person listening to this is, what could your life look like if you come to that point of realization of, you're right, we can't do this on our own, and God hasn't called us to. He wants to equip us. He wants to make mighty warriors out of us who are hiding. And so that's my challenge for all of you. Don't say no to what he's calling you to do because of your abilities. He gives you those abilities. He equips those who he's called. And we feel like that's a challenge for every single person. So if you are maybe wrestling with that, struggling through that, and you want to talk about it a little more, we'd love to talk to you about that.
Most definitely.
I know we say this a lot, but we mean it. Reach out to us at podcast@shepnaz.org. We get those emails, we read them, we interact with them, and we'd love to interact with you and help you walk through what that could look like for your life personally. But all we know for sure is that God is good, and he's going to equip the people he has called. So we love you guys. We hope you have a great day. Kev, thanks for joining me today. We'll see you
always
all
a pleasure
tomorrow.
Yay.
This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.